Yeah, so that one time my homeboy thought I was gay. I'll never forget that shit. I would never forget that. I mean, it was funny. It happened, I think about 2014. Happened 2014. I remember at this time. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all that it involves this red light. That's what this whole story is all about. But let me go ahead and push y'all up on game. Back in 2013, I was at the end of 2013, going into 2014. I had just got out of. I was dealing with a real bad breakup. I just went enrolled to go back to school and all, and like no matter how much stuff I tried to do to keep my mind off that breakup, things were just so rough. Like I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. And then when I finally, like I used to have to take sleeping pills at night just to go to sleep. So when my body started getting immune to the sleeping pills, I had to find another alternative. And all the other alternative was this red light. This really helped me go to sleep at night. Like I could not go to sleep without this red light. Every night I had my red light on. It just it just did something to set the mood for me to put me in that sleep. So my friend, my homeboy, he had called me one day. Like I stay in Charlotte, North Carolina. He stayed in a little town in South Carolina, because South Carolina, where the city that he stayed is right on the border of North Carolina. So we're 20, 30 minutes away, depending on traffic. So at that time, it was still the Charlotte Bobcats. And he called me and told me that he had tickets to the Bobcats game. So I asked him who was playing. He was like, they're playing against the Wizards. And initially I wasn't his first choice. He had invited his cousin, but his cousin had to work. So damn, I stay in Charlotte. So he asked me that I wanted to go, and I told him yeah. So the plan was, after we leave the game, I was gonna take him back home to South Carolina, then come back to Charlotte. But I go to school in South Carolina, so that would mean I would have had to travel to South Carolina after the game, come back home, then wake up and go right back to South Carolina. So I just like, bro, you might as well just spend the night with me, and I can take you home in the morning before I go to school. So he said okay. And like I live with my mom, so I told her that such and such is gonna spend the night. We're going to the game. You're gonna spend the night, take her home in the morning. So I got two snakes. I got a ball python and a red-tailed boa. And at this time, the red-tailed boa was loose. She was in the living room under the couch. So my mom was like, you're going to have to tell such and such about the snake, because he was going to sleep in the living room. So I didn't tell him right at first. So my mom was like, well, if he don't want to sleep in the living room, if you tell him about the snake and he don't want to sleep in the living room, he gonna have to sleep in the room with you. I know he ain't gonna sleep on the floor, so he might sleep in the bed. So I didn't tell him that at first. So when we got to the game, he was on the phone with his girlfriend, and they arguing. She mad because he took me to the game instead of her. So she up here threatening him, so he couldn't even enjoy the game. He about to cry and he wanted to go home. And I'm like, no, fuck that. Just nigga, hang up the phone. Get off the fucking phone. Enjoy yourself. So I'm trying to cheer him up. So I told him, I said, bro, I ain't gay or nothing, but you might have to sleep in the bed with me tonight. He was like, what? And I was like, cause my snake loose. It's in the living room. He's like, oh shit. He's like, no, I sleep in your room on the floor. I was like, bro, I'm just trying to cheer you up. So he's still going through shit with his girl, so he ain't really there completely like happy. So after the game over, we get back to the house. So I get the stuff so he can sleep on the floor in the living room. And no, not in the living room, but in my room, I get the stuff, the blanket and stuff, so he can sleep on the floor. Cause I asked him again, I said, "Bro, you gonna sleep in the bed with me?" Like, hell no, I'm not doing it. So I get the stuff so he can sleep in the room with me on the floor. So I was like, all right, bro, you know what I'm saying? Talk to you in the morning. So right before I cut off the light, I go and cut this light on. Soon as I cut the light off so it's dark. So I went to my lamp and cut the red light on. As soon as I cut that red light on, my friend say, "Bro, what the fuck you doing?" He said it just like that. He's like, "Man, what the fuck you doing?" I was like, "Man, this is how I sleep. I sleep just like this with this light on. Cause you know that red light, you mean that thing is some freaky shit." And then just earlier I told him, I was like, "Bro, you about to sleep in the bed with me." So he see I cut that light on. He's like, "Bro, what the fuck you doing?" So this nigga, so he's like, "Fuck that snake." He said, "I'm gonna have to take my chances." So he didn't tell me that he's gonna take his chances, but he left out my room and he came in the living room where the snake was at. He like, fuck that. He slept in the living room that night. So that next morning, I took him home. I did not hear from him like a month later. Like, I did not call him. He didn't call me. I did not hear from him like a month later. When he actually did call me, he was like, "Man, what you been up to?" I like, nothing. I said, "I ain't hear from you in a while." And he was like, "Yeah, I've been busy and stuff." And I was like, "Man," I said, "Bro, I ain't gonna lie. After that day," I said, "I think he believed I was gay." And I told him that. I said, "Bro, be honest." I said, "You stopped calling me because you thought I was gay, ain't it?" And he just bust out laughing. He just bust out laughing. He said, "Man, I don't play that shit, man." He said, "You cut that light on, and then you said you gonna have to sleep in the bed with me." I said, "Bro, only because my snake was out." And then I said, "That red light, that is how I sleep." And I mean, he just laughed about it, cause like I said, I was going through a breakup at the time, and it was just crazy. It's just something to think about now, just looking back at the past. Just trying to make him laugh at the game because he was down, and then my red light, that's just how I slept. But we laugh about it now. Yeah, I'm not gay, so pussy is my thing. So that was my story for y'all. The one time my homeboy thought I was gay. So if you enjoyed my story, hit that like button, please. Subscribe if you ain't already subscribed. And until the next time, see y'all on my next video.